What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Terraria 1.3. In today's episode, it looks like we got some new NPCs, actually. I never saw these guys move in. I know what the Goblin Tinkerer does. He gives us all kinds of, like, rando little things that we can use, like the reforging bench or whatnot, where you can take, like, one of your trinkets and you can reforge it with new stats. The other thing that you can do with him is if you have the workshop, which you buy from him, I think it's inside of his shop right here. If you buy the Tinkerer's Workshop, you can take one accessory and combine it with another one so that you'll actually save a slot. And that actually seems like a really, really good thing to have. And so I'll probably splurge a bit on that just to make sure that... Okay, so we have 99 gold left. I wanted to make sure that wasn't a bug over there, but it looks like apparently when you initialize your piggy bank, or your piggy bank... I don't have a piggy bag. A piggy bag would be weird. It's a very, very flimsy pig. But anyways... Your piggy bank, when you first initialize it, it only shows 10 gold, and then after it gets down to 0, it restarts from the 100 or something. I'm not really sure. I guess that if it's over 100, it starts from, like, the next, you know, double digit up or something. It's weird. Either way, I'm not going to worry about it. I got to throw some stuff in storage during this episode, and I got to do a few other things. What does Spencer do? Spencer wants you as the official Proxgac 12 errand monkey. It's a whale, it's a dolphin, no, it's a penguin fish. Oh, it's you. You get to bring me one. You do know they only like cold water. What? Okay, so it's a pangfish. How do I catch one of those? I guess I need a fishing rod. That would be the first part. And then I probably got to catch a whole bunch of bait and use that. I don't like fishing in video games. I never do, and I don't think I ever will. Not a thing that I enjoy. I need to make some like back wall down here for the subterranean area to fix this and make it look okay. It looks weird right now, and I can't leave it like that. Otherwise, it's going to bother me. Let me take... Where's the stone back wall at? There it is. I need you. And I only need a couple of you, actually. I don't need that many. I just need several. And then we take this, and we even it on out. We make it look all nice. There we go. Perfect. And then, actually, I'm going to need a couple more up here to fix this as well, because I know this has been bugging somebody's OCD. Let me get up in there, and we'll fix it real fast. Nope, there's still a brick wall right there, too. Okay. Stupid lantern is in the way. There we go. My random pet floating over my head is blocking the block that I'm trying to look at. If it's blocking the block, is that ironic or is it just punny? I think it's just punny. Pretty sure it's just punny. Okay, so the next thing that I need is I needed to make myself a whole bunch of copper bricks because I have the materials to do these things. And so since I have stone blocks, let's go ahead and mash these out real quick. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to need, but I'm going to build the next section of the house out of copper, and it is going to be super pimpin'. So, I want to go up to the roof right here, and I'd like to bust out, well, maybe I could retrofit the rest of this with copper bricks. I don't know. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do with the copper bricks yet, but we're going to have to do some form of expansion. I have too many storage devices right now and too many workbenches, and so I need to organize them by what they do versus just having them all like in one big sprawly area. And so I need to come up with themed rooms that'll have, like, this one's for blacksmithing and foraging and stuff like that, whereas this room is going to have all of the random machines that use building blocks or create building blocks. It's just I have too much random stuff around right now, and I'd like to get it all out of the way. Throw a couple furniture pieces in there. I'm not going to play around with this just yet because I don't have room for it anywhere. That's going to be the first part. Let's build myself a workshop. Let's do a workshop so that we've actually got the space to do some of these things that I was talking about. I need more dirt. I knew there was a reason I destroyed my dirt. Damn it. I destroyed my dirt and I needed it. And I knew I had it in my inventory for some reason. I just couldn't decide what it was. Alright, well, it's easy to get dirt. Let's go dig some from over here. This is going to be a building episode, so if that's going to bore you, I apologize, but there's going to be a whole lot of drilling going on right now. Let's grab a little bit of dirt. I just need to cover that with like 2 layers of dirt and it'll be perfectly fine. It won't look pretty, but it'll work. And so there it is. We worked on the dirt. That's looking nice. Get the hammer out. We'll knock out some of these little sections right here. Let's get you fixed real fast. There we go. Now that you've been fixed, I'm going to chop down some of the foliage over here to make sure that it's not in the way. And we have this entire area to play around with over here with our copper bricks. And so I'm going to start out. I think we have to lower it by 1, otherwise I gotta put, well, I could put in a ramp, that's not so bad. So let's lay down the bottom layer first. Oh, this is gonna be so amazing. I can tell already, this is gonna look really, really cool. It's gonna have like a super awesome like Babylonian look type going with it. Bring this over to here, that looks kinda nice. And then I'm gonna have to bring it up like so. And I always like to build my things in little domes, as you can tell, it's just what I prefer to do. It's a thing that always ends up happening every time I build anything in any game ever. And so if I bring this back over this way, I'd like to give myself enough room to play with. Actually, we might make it... how do I want this to work? I think that's the proper height right there, but I can't really tell. I have bad eyesight, so unfortunately without the measurement lines, you are definitely not what I wanted to happen, but you know what? We'll figure it out in a minute. I think this is starting from a lower height. Yep, we gotta be one up. Damn it. Why am I so terrible at building? I just have trouble like eyeballing distances. That looks like it's the same though to me. Let's try it one more time without all the extra crap in the way. Or maybe I started building from the top of it. Maybe that's the problem. I did. Okay, so that's how I messed it up. I knew I messed it did I say messed it just now? I knew I messed something up somehow. There it is. And so with that right there, we can probably actually just bring this all the way across. Nice and shiny style. I don't know what the background's going to look like, but I assume it's probably going to look really, really awesome. I don't want this to be edged. I'll probably round this off in just a little bit. But the way that I'd like it to work is maybe we could take some glass and we could make some back wall glass, as well as making some back wall area. I don't know if that's going to be enough room for all of my workbenches, though. I got to put something right there, too, otherwise it's not going to work. That'll be fine. Not a big deal. I'll probably fill this in with stone, just like I did over on this side, how we have like that little outdoor area. I'll probably do the same thing right here, where I'll fill it in with stone bricks in between, just so like it's all part of the same motif, like there's a wall around the outside basically. That's the only reason that I do that, is because it makes it look like there's an outside retaining wall. And so there we go. Outside retaining wall continues. It goes where it's supposed to go. The outside retaining wall goes pretty high though, so if I wanted it actually to be maintained, I'd need it to go all the way off this way. And we would need a lot of stone to get that done. So for right now, the wall is going to get a little bit smaller on this side, and then we'll fix it later. Probably off camera, or I'll do it on stream or something. I don't know. I'll work quick with it. We got a terrarium. Oh, well, I could have used that. What does that do? Is that like the same thing that I have up here, except the monsters won't despawn, or the critters won't despawn? If so, I can work in another area. I'll put it down like right here to test it, and then... Is there a reason where does it want to be placed at? Does it require a lot of space? Or does it need to be set on a table? I bet it needs to be set on a table. Let's try. I bet it goes on one of these down here. You gotta put it on a table or something. Does it go on a table? Oh, it doesn't go on a table either. What does it go on? This goes somewhere. I know that it does. You can't fool me. Weird. Is it like a back wall, maybe? How odd. I don't know what that goes to. We'll have to figure it out later. Weird. I'll figure it out in a minute. It's not a big deal for right now. We got stuff like that I want to accomplish in this episode, otherwise I'm going to be upset with myself. So let's stick to the task at hand instead of getting sidetracked and working all kinds of random stuff and never accomplishing anything fully. I need glass walls for the background, so I'm going to go ahead and make a whole bunch of those. There we go. So that'll be good. I also needed copper brick back walls. And so I'll probably get maybe, I don't know, like 300 or 4 of those will probably work for right now. I don't need like a ton of it. I just need a little bit. We'll chop this wall down real quick, and then we'll take these and we'll use auto placement. I thought that would look a lot more like piping, but it doesn't. It just kind of gives you the impression of having a really, really extravagant room that's made out of an expensive conductor. Alright, that's cool. It'll probably like turn green pretty soon too. There's this building where I live where they have like a copper roof, and everybody hated it when it first was there because it looked all tacky. And then over the years, it all turned green, and that was actually the architectural plan. Once it turned green, it started to look good, and people liked it. So, you know, if something looks ugly, give it some time. It might tarnish or something over time, and it'll look a little bit better. Okay, so there's our building. That looks a lot different than I expected it to look. I thought the copper bricks would look a bit more like bricks. Like, I thought they would look like those, except being shiny. And instead, they've kind of got like a weird lumpy native copper appearance going. I don't know if I like it very much. Don't know if I like it very much, but we'll have to make it work for right now. Instead, to make this all look nice, I think it's going to need some back structure or something in there, like some scaffolding to make it look nicer. Otherwise, it's just going to look weird the whole time. And so maybe I'll go with, we got some wood wall right there. That'll work. Like maybe 50 of those will probably do it. And then what I'll do, what I'm going to try and do anyways, and I don't know if this is going to work perfectly or not, take off the auto dig. And what I'm going to do is we'll sort of go down right here. Well, you guys don't do that. That's the last thing I wanted you to do. Knocking blocks out of the way, making them look all stupid. there is a problem with all this. There we go. And so the goal now would be to have it go up sort of like that, I guess. It doesn't look amazing, but I think those among you who like architectural type stuff will get what I'm going for. And if it looks too ugly after I get it done, we'll figure out another way to do it. But for right now, I don't know. It adds a little bit of, we need like texture in this room, I think is the biggest problem that we're running into. And if we don't have it, it's going to look very, very odd no matter what we do. So from up here, I think I did the same thing right there. Right, there we go. That looks like it'll probably connect to the same spot. There's a little bit of bleed over, so it can be hard to aim when you put in walls like this. It can be a little bit weird. Okay, so that looks good right there. I think we got it covered. With the door space, it's not completely symmetrical, but it's symmetrical enough to where I think most people aren't going to notice. Then the next thing we got to do is we got to bring one across this way. And this might not look good. It might look weird. But basically, this is kind of going to be like those windows that they have in warehouses that let natural light in. Like, they have those around here. Some of those old warehouses from, like, way back in the day where they're basically, like, made out of windows from, like, a certain altitude up. And the downside to that is that kids love throwing rocks at those things. That is, like, one of the favorite things that local kids like to do. And so all those old warehouses are totally wrecked now. Got, like, big holes in the windows and stuff, but still, kind of cool. Not the holes, that is, but the rest of it. If I get this to go like that, I think I could get it to look good. We're going to have to fix that wall back there because I messed up, but it'll be okay. I promise. I just got to be very, very careful about this placement in here. So let me wreck things up too badly. Perfect. And then I think I put in a wood wall one too far in here. And so there it is. That'll look nice. That's not so bad. What I would also maybe hazard doing is running another wood beam along the bottom. I don't like the way this looks when it's made all of copper. Like some buildings, like I like these areas when they're made all of stone. I could add in some of these support structures in there to make it all look a little bit nicer and more natural. But for right now, this is going to be my workshop, and I'm going to make the tiers go higher and higher maybe. Or maybe have little catwalks or something in here that'll make it look cool. But it's still in like the conceptual phase, but I like the way that it looks. I think it'll work out for a little bit. I think I can hammer from right here. And if I put it right there, I should be able to hammer all the way across. And what I'm going to try and do with this, I don't know if I'm going to have enough wood, though. I might have to make some more wood back wall. This might not work out in the way that I intended just by nature of me not having enough stuff. So then we take this, we run it all along there. And I believe I have to go one higher right here. So yeah, but I think when we get that done, it'll make it look a lot more natural and nice. I need a little bit more though. I underestimated how much wood I was going to need because I wasn't going to make that cross beam right there. Wasn't planning on doing it anyway. It would suck to be called a cross beam. That would be downer all the time. Like I would feel the need to always be in a bad mood if somebody just labeled me the cross beam. I'd just be like, well, he's always mad, but that's because he's load bearing. Bring this over to here. I'd be mad if I was bearing a load and couldn't get rid of it either. That looks alright. I kind of want to get rid of that layer right there and make it wood. But everything else looks sort of swell in there, so I think it'll work out. I can settle with it. It's not my favorite thing that I've ever built, but it looks alright. I think we need to put in one more brick over here. And then what we need to do is we need to take that hammer. And we need to turn these into walkways so that when I'm walking in between buildings, I don't have that little step up right there. I don't like it when it has that, so I want this to go like so that I can smoothly go up and into my house without having to worry about it. On this side, I'm going to knock out that wall real quick. And we're going to need to start moving some of this stuff around. And so we've got an advanced workbench right there. Take the piggy bank, got the hell forge, got the anvil. The sawmill, I don't really care about that much. I think it allows me to make some more complicated stuff for the background. Yeah, it allows you to make beams, but I kind of like the way that looks with logs. I might take beams, though, and fit them in all these areas and see what I can do with that. Still, we're relocating everything. We're trying to clear out chunks of the house and then go to other areas. And so I'd like to keep everything like woodworking goes here. This area goes. I'm probably just going to fill that with lava, by the way. If you're wondering what I'm going to do with that, I think I'm just going to fill it with lava since the bugs and random birds and things that I was catching in the previous episode won't stay in there. They seem to be too crafty for me, so what can you do? I like the way this looks. I'm really, really pleased with this building. Actually, I might do something similar with this building right here. We need to take the hammer, and we need this to go a little bit smoother. Technically, I could put in another brick right there, and I could leave it sticking out so that it looked like there was an overhang. My inner roofers. Yeah, let's do it. We'll put that right there. We'll play around with what it looks like for right now. Dig that off real fast, and then I think I can make this look like a... Yeah, you can make it look like an overhang if you play it just right. The point of an overhang is just to keep... There's a duck? I don't have any ducks. I don't think I've ever caught a duck. Let's catch a duck with a net. Yeah, I've had pet ducks too, by the way. You can't escape me, duck. I will have you. You will be mine, duck. Yeah, mallard duck. There we go. So anyways, we caught ourselves our first bird. I had pet ducks. Ducks were cool. Found a bunch of baby ducks when I was somewhere. Like a parcel of them, so for real. Like, there was a lot of... I was trying to think of the word that I wanted to use. But anyways, just there was a ton of ducklings around that had been abandoned. Like, they were really... I think the mother must have got killed by something. There's a bunch of ducklings just running around. I'm like, yeah, you guys are coyote bait if I don't bring you home. So we brought them home, and ducks are a messy, disgusting animal. You have no idea. They converted the entire backyard into basically like a big field of mud. Because ducks create a giant mess, and they create like these mud pits to swim in. They get dirty all the time. Pain in the ass unless you've got a lagoon near... That's not what I wanted either. Unless you've got a lagoon nearby. Kind of a pain in the ass. There we go. Or some kind of like water body nearby. That's cool. That looks nice. I like it. Easily expandable. I think it looks I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with it. I think that we probably should get some new lighting solutions in here, though. If I could make some sort of candelabra, that would work out. We could also make some kind of big torch or something, but I don't know exactly what we can make. Let me get out my gold bars real fast. Because I think, actually, maybe I should make it out of copper. Yeah, let's make it out of copper. We'll make it out of copper for right now. Go back in here. I'm going to convert this area into some kind of like lounge or something. Or maybe I'll turn that into the area where I showcase all the gear that I've built so far. If I drop this right here, so in this area, I wanted there to be... Oh, I've actually... Okay, so let me put down... These aren't going to be in a permanent spot, but I need to be able to make... Let's go with... I need the Hellforge to be down. I need... Oh, you could put a mallard in a duck cage. That kind of sucks for him, doesn't it? That's what... Maybe that's why it wouldn't let me place it, is because it's just a material. Then once you get that, it can be placed. Yeah, it's a material. It says it if I knew how to read. Damn you, literacy. Allowing me to skip on past... obvious things time and time again. Let's go into, I think, the sawmill is not going to do it for right now. The tinker's workshop, I need the anvil. That's what I need. I was trying to think of the object that I need right now, and the anvil is definitely it. We could go with a fireplace, but I prefer that whatever it is not take up placeable space, so it be up like along the ceiling or something. Can you make a copper candelabra? I'm not sure that you can. I'm not so sure. You might not be able to. I thought you might be able to, but we might be out in the cold on that one. I don't think the heavy workbench is going to let us do it either. Heavy workbench doesn't really do much in the first place. It's not like a super useful crafting menu. Yeah, it looks like you can't make copper anything, so maybe... There's got to be like a copper candelabra. Haven't we found one before? I bet there's one in my house right now that I've placed. Or like a brass one somewhere. That one's kind of just in an extra spot. Maybe I'll just repurpose that one. Yeah, that's fine. We already got torches. Let me take you. Are you gold? What are you? A tin chandelier. Ah. Okay, so yeah, it looks like you can make it, but maybe you just need like native, possibly. We'll take this out here. Bunny's going to fall into our pit for right now. I'm going to go with the... Where is that at? Where did it go? I think that should be enough to keep us lit up for the majority of the time. That looks right about centered. That looks pretty good. And then what we can do is we can put torches on either side, and that'll give us all the illumination that we need for the day. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with the building. It's got a big H in the middle of it. Why it's got a big H in the middle, I don't know. Some superhero whose name starts with an H will probably move in eventually. Let's place some workbenches, shall we? There's things that we need to do. I'll probably put some metal doors on this one, too, just to make it look a little bit more in tune with everything that's going on. I don't know. We built ourselves a copper house out in the middle of nowhere. I expected to get struck constantly with lightning. It'd be cool if you could collect lightning in jars in this game or whatever. Alright, so this is going to be the blacksmithing area. This first floor, I think that I'm going to try and get as much blacksmithing stuff nearby. So there's the anvil right there. I think that I'd like to have the forge right there. And once those two are down, we can basically do all the things that we need to do with the workbenches available. I'll probably put in a workbench right there. That'll be fine. And that should be the 3 crafting benches that we need in order to accomplish things. I'll take the sawmill, and it'll probably be in a different spot. Actually, this building's made out of wood, so maybe we'll put, like, wood-related stuff in here. And so if I take this down real fast, we'll put the loom in here. We'll have the advanced workshop right there. even though I still don't really know what it lets us do. I think it makes like the letters or something like that. You don't really have to worry about it that much. I've got the glass kiln. I'll probably space that out a little bit for right now and put it like right there and just let it burn for a little bit. It'll invoke its inner usher. There are a whole bunch of animals down in there. I kind of want them. Let's go catch them real fast. Gotta catch them all. It's Pokemon speaking on through. Pokemon taught me that you never leave animals in their natural environment. You bring them home and you train them to fight each other, Michael Vick style. And nobody gets mad about it. Everybody's just like, oh yeah, that's what we do in this world. We have the equivalent of dog fighting. That's totally what we do. We just pick up animals in nature and we train them to kill each other until they faint from pain and suffering. That doesn't sound so good to me. Are you sure this is ethical? Are you positive we're allowed to do this? I'm still missing like one right there, but it's almost done. It's almost done. Alright, so that looks good. I think that for the block formative things, like the honey craft or the honey dispenser and like the slime, whatever it's called, the solidifier, for right now I'm going to stick them off to the side, but I'll move these into a better, more suitable location later on, because as of right now, this is going to be mostly, we're going to try and keep one type of crafting in each area, and then just sort of move around a little bit, but this works for me right now, because I got to lay this stuff on down. So it looks like we can make all kinds of random things inside of jars, just in case you wanted to, which means that I can probably get rid of this second layer up here because there'd be no point having it. And it just looks weird and ugly, so we might as well eliminate. So let's do it. Let's break this on down. I realize this was a construction episode, and that most people are not going to be incredibly enamored by construction episodes, but I know there are those people out there because there are channels that exist where like all they do is build stuff in Minecraft and they get loads and loads of viewers. So I figure somebody among my constituency will more than likely enjoy this video. We'll break this on down. That was just the stuff that I was playing around with in the last episode. Not important at the moment. It's amazing that we can break down the glass like without it just turning into shards or whatever. It all just works out. We don't know why. We don't question it. That block right there is looking super damaged, but I'll worry about it later. Break down some of this wallpaper right here. Yep, get rid of all of it. Don't really need it. Don't really want it. There's no reason to have crazy wallpaper in the background right now. Cool. There we go. I saw a guy that built a treehouse that was really, really awesome in this game. Like, he built one that basically went way up into the sky, and then it just had branches that stuck off of it. Like, it had a very thin trunk, sort of like this right here, and at a certain point, it just went up higher and higher and higher, and then from there, he put, like, things that stuck out on either side. Kind of cool. I like my buildings to make structural sense, though. Like, I don't know. I don't like it when my buildings all have, like, this tiny little central structure that in no way would ever be able to, like, bear that weight. It just, I don't like looking at it. It makes me upset. So anyways, this is looking pretty good. I think our work is done for the day. I'm pleased with the profits of the episode that we've managed to accomplish. I will see you all later. This is Terraria 1.3. Thanks for joining me. Hi-do, everybody, and I'll see you next time.